Hey, this is my recap of Botched, Season 1, Episode 6, Boob Freak. So, as I've realized, every episode has a theme. And this particular episode's theme are patients who have lost something and had a surgery to try to regain it and aren't happy with the results. So, if you look at all three patients, you'll see that that is definitely true for each one of them. Let's see. Let's start with Michelle, who is our sort of faux patient. She comes in, we hear her story, she has a consultation, but they choose not to go ahead with the surgery, and we've had one every episode. So when she was younger, she felt she was really beautiful. She rode horses, and a horse reared up and hit her in the face, which is just so frightening, and collapsed, let's see, the right side of her face. She had to have 10 surgeries over 2 years to try to repair it, and just never really felt it was very good. At some point, she went to the Philippines to have a facelift and have a chin cleft put in, which to me is just totally bizarre because I've never looked and thought, oh, I should just have a cleft chin. There you go. And she's not happy with the results. They go ahead, they do a consultation, and they just don't feel that it's a safe procedure to do. So there you go. That's the end of Michelle. So let's go ahead and see our two real patients. The first is Mike, and he has a very large head scar across the back. So he's from a small area in Michigan. He came to LA to be a trainer. He loves training, but he feels it's a really competitive, you've got to look really good industry. Now, he said that his hairline was always really high and it started to recede, and he was like, not going to happen. And so he found a doctor to go ahead and do hair rejuvenation or whatever. And he thought he picked a really good doctor in Beverly Hills and all that. Well, then he goes the day of the surgery. The doctor's like, oh, go meet me in Encino, which is like the other side of the mountains. And he's like, and then he gets there and the doctor's like, oh, no anesthesiologist, here's some pills. I'm guessing like a Valium or something. And they go ahead with the surgery, and he has this large scar across the back up to 1 centimeter wide. Now, what is it with people showing up for their surgeries with no anesthesiologist and not running? Like, I'm the kind of person who, I don't like to make people feel uncomfortable. I don't like to make a big deal out of things, but I still think if I showed up for a surgery and there was no anesthesiologist, I would get out of there. Like, I'm pretty sure that even I would do that. So I'm kind of surprised at the number of people who show up for surgery and are like, oh, a block of ice? Oh, just a pill? Oh, okay. Anyway, they talk to him about the scar. It really bothers him. It makes him, people ask about it and stuff. Mostly, I'm guessing, because they don't realize it's like something embarrassing. They probably think it's really legitimate, like he said, a car crash or fell off a bike. Anyway, what they suggest is to put an implant underneath the scar, expand it over a period of weeks, and that will make the skin a little bit looser, because what caused the scar was the skin being so tight that as it was trying to heal, it was pulling, and it created this big thick scar. So they want to kind of stretch the skin out so they can remove the scar, stitch it shut, and it'll close. Now, they tell him that it won't be 100% improvement. It might be 50%, 80%, but it's probably not going to be perfect, and he's willing to go ahead with it. So they do this whole procedure. They put the thing underneath there. They inflate it. He's super self-conscious about it, and I don't really think it's really that noticeable. Like, he threw a beanie on, he'd probably be fine. But anyway, he goes ahead. I guess it's really painful, or he doesn't have a high pain threshold. I can't really tell you. Anyway, they go ahead and do the surgery. We don't get the big reveal at the end. He's sort of like, yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't have bothered. I thought it looked better. Like, when he showed it from behind, him kind of going like that with his hair. I thought it was greatly improved. I thought the scar was significantly less noticeable, but he wasn't happy with it. But I appreciate that they included it because it was a unique surgery we hadn't seen before. Pocket, settle down. And the fact that not every surgery is going to be a success, and I appreciate them including some that were not a success. Our last patient, Pocket. Sorry, my dog's scratching on the bed. Here, make him a little nest. Maybe he'll go away. Last is Cynthia. She had breast cancer and she lost a breast, and at the same time she had reconstructive surgery, and she feels they're not even. So notice all three patients lost something, lost hair, damaged a face, lost a breast, and then had a surgery to replace it and was not happy with it. So great theme. Anyway, they decided to do both breasts because Terry doesn't feel that they're even the way they should be. So they go into, the right breast was the normal breast that they put an implant in, and it just wasn't, it was sitting too low and all that. So he fixes that. He goes into the left breast, which was the one that they had removed for cancer, and the implant's just like busted. It's like, it looks like just a sticky, gooey mess. Oh my gosh, so scary that was like loose in there. Anyway, he reconstructs it. We see her at the big reveal. Looks so good, so even. I mean, really, like, she was wearing a little bikini. I never would have guessed that they had been so asymmetric before. So there you go, another episode of Botched. Still one of my favorites.